Hello, this is Zeke777, and welcome to episode 15 of Simply Magic 2. Got a couple things planned for today. As you can see behind me here, well I guess now in front of me, we are making a bit of progress on the actual structure of the base. I still have one more floor planned here. These wings here, this is pretty much the top floor of those, although I don't have anything in it yet. But in the middle here, I want to put kind of my own personal, well basically like the bedroom and anything else I can think of to put up here. So, a couple things. One, my elevator doesn't work this high. Right now I've just got down here this little basically bouncy thing. It works nicely for getting from the basement level up to the main floor, which is this alchemy array. But that's it. So we're gonna need to get an upgrade on that. Next after that, as you can see, I've got Livingrock pretty much everywhere. It's kind of a recurring theme throughout the base, including over there at Blood Magic over there. And also any other buildings I'll be building will be using quite a lot of Livingrock. Right now I'm still doing this manually, just every so often. I'm coming down here, taking my rod shifting crust here, setting it to stone, and then swapping it all out. It works pretty nice. It only gets me 48 every minute or so, and that means I'm having to be here every minute. So we're going to need to automate that. So first, let's go ahead and upgrade our elevator. The elevator we're going to go with today is the slipstream generator. It's one of my favorites. It's from Ars Magica. It's pretty simple, pretty cheap, the air essence being the most expensive part, and honestly that's just because of the Tarma root. But I think I already have a couple of those anyway, so air essence, grab one of those. I need, let's see, 2 feathers, and I need witchwood logs. Let's get 6. Cool. Oh, I only have 6. Awesome. Well, it works out. So, yeah, simple recipe. Throw everything in. We have our slipstream generator. Let's take this back out and put that where it goes. And let's grab our crystal wrench. Now, like a lot of things in Ars Magica, this does require power. We might actually put 4 of these in at some point. There's no real need for more than one, but this will work. So let's run over here to our power. Let's grab some of the neutral. Let's kind of demonstrate it. I'll do the rest off camera for the actual pairing it, but it's pretty much the same thing, running back and forth. So the way this works, let's break you. The way this works is when you stand on it, nothing happens. But when you look up, you start flying up. This thing has a range of, I want to say, about 50 some blocks. Yeah, my Y level right now is around 110. Yeah, 110. And you're just kind of sitting here. Now if you hold shift, you can look around and not do anything. Otherwise, if you release shift, when you look down, you float down. Look up, you look up. Yeah. So this allows us to get from any of the floors. It's not quite as fast as the little jumping pad I had before, but I think it's pretty handy and allows me to get to each of my floors pretty easily. So I'm going to, I think, build 3 others of those just to get it to be the whole level at the bottom there and get them all paired up. So kind of a cool thing. It looks like if you have more of these guys, it'll actually move you much quicker. So if you stand kind of in the middle, you just shoot right through everything, as opposed to if you just look gently, you can float gently as well. You don't take any fall damage from that, no matter how fast you're going. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, elevator done. Next up, Livingrock. Now, there's a lot of ways I can do this. Kind of the Britannia method is to use the bore lens to break things after they turn to Livingrock. Gonna kind of think of a couple different ways I can do this and come up with a design and also a place where I can put this. But first, there's an Enderman. Gotta kill him. There we go. Cool. Designing. Yeah. Okay. So before we actually start building this and figuring out how much space it's going to be, let's do a couple experiments first. So if we place a pulse mana spreader here, that should be facing inward, let's place a diluted mana pool next to it. And just for good measure, let's put a block here that I can place a button on. Might be able to place a button directly on here, I don't know. Let's grab Hand of Ender. Get the Wand of the Forest out and switch this over to take things from a mana tablet that I toss in here. I'm using diluted mana pool for a couple reasons. One, I don't need a whole lot of mana in this. I just need enough. So let's go ahead and toss There we go, mana tablet. Toss you in, should fill up pretty much immediately. I don't actually know how many shots I can get out of a diluted pool. The idea is I'll be using the diluted pool since they use so much less. That way I won't have a lot of mana just kind of stored here that'll never really be used and therefore not actually useful. So we have our mana spreader here. Let's go ahead and grab, I forgot to make this into a bore lens. So yep, I need 2 lapis, redstone, and a piston. Let me go grab that real quick and I'll be right back. And we're back. So let's place the bore lens on the mana spreader. And let's just see how far this will actually break. So 6 blocks. So basically the equivalent of 2 pure daisies. Okay. So I can also, there's a design I saw by, I believe it was Jancy, or Jancy Craft, I think, as his YouTube, channel, that's the word. That I think he used some warp lenses to kind of bounce this beam around to take out all this. What we might actually do, though, instead is just go with a design that uses 2 pure daisies, and I can place 1 row for the stone to be turning into living rock, and 1 row for the living wood. I think that's probably how I'm going to do this, and I can place like an hourglass in the middle here at a minute delay or so. That way it'll pulse it every minute. I do it a minute and a half just to give it extra time. And yeah, I think that's going to be kind of the basics of the design that we're working with. So we're going to need kind of about, I guess, the equivalent of, well, let's just place it here for now. We'll actually get a place for this, but that's just to figure out the size. And I don't need this block anymore. I would need the hourglass in the middle. We'll pretend this is an hourglass. And about this far. So what's that, 8 blocks? Because I got the 6 plus the 2. Okay. Let me clear out a little space for that. I'm thinking where I might put that. You can see I'm kind of dividing everything up into sections here. This section over here is currently really unused. I do have one little bit of automation that's working down here, and that's my rain stopper here, which is actually working pretty much perfectly. I hear rain starting and then immediately stopping. So that's good. I built that in like episode 3 or something. Then I have my main automation with the rituals are down this hallway here. The Britannia is going to be in this section here. I think I'm going to keep this for Britannia mana generation though. By that, I mean I'm going to probably move my terra steel out, my gateway out, and all that. So I'm not going to put the living rock generator in here. I think what I'll do is place that in this area here, and then that leaves me pretty much half of my entire base here still to build. I'm going to be having to clear out quite a lot of room, probably put down this little pathway. It's going to be several blocks below here, actually, is what it'll have to be. That'll be for auto crafting. But for now, let's go ahead and get a spot set up over in that area by the cactus there, and we'll set up our automation. Alrighty, well, we cleared out the cactus. I don't really need a cactus farm at the moment. Oh, hello, go away. Don't really need a cactus farm at the moment because I mostly needed that to get the slime balls. And I have quite a few of those at this point, so I don't need that anymore. So let's go ahead and break a small hole through here. This will be our window. Kind of like with the rituals that we have here, I'm going to have the alpha glass to be able to look in. Do I want that to be directly across? Yeah, I do. Doesn't really matter, but you know, it makes it look a little nicer if it's at least symmetric. My inventory is a complete mess. Okay, so here's our window. And what we're going to do is we're going to have, I think, the diluted mana. If we put the mana pools here, then I can have my mana spreaders there, right here. You there, you there. Then where this little flashlight is, oh, that's a good way of updating things apparently. Where that little flashlight is will be where the actual timer is going to go. It's just going to be a simple hourglass with however much I decide to put in it. So, next up, I think we're going to go with these mossy variants of the living rock and the living wood planks. Use this mostly because I don't know if I'll actually use these normally. I could, I guess, use them for decoration. I am using regular living rock everywhere else, so that could be kind of look nice, but we'll see. It's hard to tell where holes are. Okay, 1, 2, there we go. So right, holes. You there, you there, you there. That gets me 7. Let's go ahead and break you. And just to make things update. Oh, they didn't update this time. Oh well. Breaking it does. Cool. Anyway, living wood. I can speak. It's gonna go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 7 here. 3, 4, 5, 6. And then right in the middle is where my pure daisy is gonna go. Again, don't need to get the floating variants, but I might use those for making like a snow farm or ice farm or something later. So let's break you because that'll update things again. Cool. So that's going to be where the Rancarpus is going to place down the various blocks. So with that said, let's grab a Rancarpus. And where'd that one go? Here we go. Don't really need to be anywhere in particular. I might just kind of put it, I think here works. Place you there, you on top. Now anything I toss on that is going to go and get placed on here. And I think it's anything that falls within this little 3x3 area. Actually, it's a 5x5 area, because that's what I noticed over at the rituals that I have set up. So it's 5x5, so that might run into issues. Yeah, let's move it back one more, just so that when things get broken here, they won't go anywhere. Actually, I could put a warp lens. No, okay. I was thinking maybe put a warp lens there and have it, that way when it breaks, it'll just teleport it out the back of the spreader. But no, we'll just move it over one. And apparently that, okay, cool. Let's break you again. My inventory is too full and things go in the wrong spot. Rancarpus goes on top. Hole there gets filled in by dirt. Okay. Doesn't look like it, but it's really there. Let's do a lighting update. Cool. Rancarpus there, and similarly, is that going to run into issues? No, because it shouldn't pick up anything. There isn't anything that should be on the other side there that'll be placeable. So that's fine. Let's break you with regular dig because I don't want more grass. Grab my last mossy living wood. Break you, place you, and let's get some light. It's kind of weird. Is that messing with the biome, or is it just the lighting? I think it's just the lighting. Yeah. There we go. Okay. So this guy here is going to be placing down the wood. This guy here is going to be placing down the stone. Awesome. So open crate. And similar to before, how we only wanted to feed one at a time, let's kind of figure out where we want to put these. I, again, don't want to have redstone touching this because I'll disable him. Instead, I think if we do pressure plate here, which of course, do I have any wood on me? That was not what I want to click. I don't have any wood. I don't have any stone. I can't do... Okay, let me go get the parts that I need for the actual build here. And we'll be right back. Alright, so let's go ahead, place our open crates on top of the pressure plates again. Similar story as before. We have our redstone coming out. Let's get some slabs here. And I want my slab to be here. Redstone on top of that. And let's throw a hopper here. So this should then work so that items that are in here will drop down and get placed. Hopefully I did this right and it won't put a little delay in it before the Rancarpus picks it up, but that's easy enough to check. So let's go in here and let's take, I don't have any regular stone. Sure. Right, magnets. Take that off and let's throw a stack of Livingrock. So it looks like that is, well, it wasn't a 10-second delay. Okay, that's not too bad. I think that's going to work. Next up, our hopper, which is currently invisible as per, usual. Let's go ahead and place an output routing node on the side of it. And then similar story over here. Hopper. Let's grab a block of some variety. Place you here. Redstone. Slab. Redstone. Hopper is already here with redstone on top. and our output routing node on the side of him. Cool. Now we can break this extra block, unneeded. Okay, and you know what, let's just cause a little lighting update just to make everything visible so we can see it. Cool. This output routing node, we need to, I don't actually have any regular wood or regular stone on me, so I won't put that in there yet. Basically, it's somewhat automated at this point. Let's go ahead and take the rest of you out. I don't know if the redstone will interact. I've heard that it does. Might be a thing to take into account. For now, I think I can kind of ignore it. It's off, right? Yeah. Because basically what that's going to do is it's going to keep items in here. I think that's fine if it even has the redstone interacting. Yeah. So at this point, you can basically just put a bunch of items in here and it'll automatically place them down. This I'll put 2 soul sand in, which should be 2 minutes if I remember correctly. And that it's basically done. But it's not nicely fully automated where it'll have a shut-off valve. So let's break these just to get them out of the way. Next up, it's actually going to be pretty simple. Hopefully I have room for this. We're going to do a similar setup as before. So let's place a block here. I want to use Livingrock bricks though, which I think I have my little backpack here. Yeah. It's kind of my building supplies. So I've got, you know, Livingrock and the destructive stone, which I'm using everywhere, and alpha glass just for, and actually grab my corporea. I don't have the bookshelves this time. So, okay, right now, item falls on here, goes up to here, hits the hopper, and turns everything off. What I can do is if I put my comparator going into here, like that, place another block here, don't really need it, but makes so that this isn't just floating here. This is hooked up. I need to put the actual corporea, I need to link it through properly. But that right there, if I put my bookshelf into the side of the comparator, it should actually serve the same purpose. It'll shut off the hopper and prevent it from feeding any more items into it. So I think that setup right there should work pretty nicely. So let's do the same thing over here. Place you there and there, comparator going into that. Because again, this signal here is never going to be, you know, 0 or 1 where it'll just barely affect this. It'll pretty much be just on full because I'm going to do probably about 1,000 or so. So place corporeal crystal cube here, and let me grab a couple, let's see, sparks and an oak chest. This chest doesn't really matter where it is, but it's going to serve a couple purposes. If I place it in the right place, then it can link up with the corporea up there and be able to get these guys working as well. Let's place you on that, you there. Livingrock, we'll go in this one. Currently showing 0, as expected. And livingwood here. So that's not linked yet. Now, where can I place this? Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 would be up to that. I think if I have it just kind of floating here, maybe like that should work. Dig, dig. Place a spark on you. Perfect. These guys are now able to read the numbers. This I need to put the bookshelves on the side, same here and here, but I think this is basically working. I need to now set these up. So let me go get the raw materials I need for this. I still don't have the sparks or anything in place to get my mana sorting out properly, but we'll do that soon enough as well. Over at our obsidian factory here, this location here is getting me 4096. So with that, 4096, 2048, 1024. So I want the fourth one on the bottom row. I think that'll work fine. Nope, wrong place. I don't have a door to this one yet. It's kind of a maintenance door anyway, which ideally you wouldn't ever need. But, so, here we are. Let's go ahead and place our bookcase there. And I need to open it and place, like I said, the fourth one in. So that should be preventing a signal until I have 1,000-ish in there. Same story over here. Yep, I want that in comparator mode still. Open you up and place you in the fourth one in. Cool. Next up, this direction here is east. So we go into the output node, and on the east here we want to place in stone. Right, filters. Place our filter in first, and then we want stone. Specifically, we want, why not, stack of stone. As you know, the stone is being automatically smelted over at the super smelter over there, so that should never run out. This isn't filling yet because I didn't link it. And then same over here, only now it's west. Place our filter in, and we want oak wood. I'm going with oak. Honestly, I don't really have a reason one over another. I do have quite a lot of oak as well as jungle wood at this point. Oak is easy enough to farm. With my Terra Truncator, there's a couple patches where each of those little forest fires were before. It's just really dense wood, and so I can just go in there and chop maybe twice, and it'll fill up my inventory with wood. At some point, it'll be an automated tree farm, but hey, don't need it yet. So this guy's set up for wood, not linked yet. This guy's set up for stone, not linked yet. And we want a item collector. I'm going with these item collectors instead of hopper hawks, mostly because these pretty much pick them up just instantly. As opposed to hopper hawks where it waits around a little bit first before getting made. And the advanced ones, you can set the range on them as well. So we're going to place that on top of here. So let's go here, hop up here. Place it on top, which should be fine with the corporeal spark, that's fine. Place you there, and probably need an empty hand. Right click. 555, probably fine. Yep, good enough. Just for good measure, let's toss a couple of those out, get picked up almost instantly, put in here. Next up, input routing node. Again, doesn't really matter where it goes. Might as well put it on the front because then I can at least see my lasers moving around. And with that, I think, except for the mana, we should be good. Now I'm going to leave this at the 2-minute. Yeah, at 2-minute mark. It doesn't really matter when I start this whole chain. It's going to pulse every 2 minutes no matter what. I might lose a little bit of mana in the process, but I don't really care too much. It's going to go long. If I have fewer than 6 blocks here, which shouldn't ever happen, just by the way this is set up, it'll probably overproduce anyway. It'll pretty much always have at least 6 here. It'll get broken. If there's less than 6 though, it'll go over to the mana pool, and then the mana pool is going to have a spark on it. These here are going to have dominant sparks on them, so any mana that goes in that pool will just instantly move back here anyway. If I'm lucky, I might have these close enough to be able to link to my mana storage, which will be on the other side there, and I won't have to do any fancy routing of like mana spreaders. Even if I do though, that's kind of what the area up top there is for, is just moving items, material, power around. It won't be visible, so it'll just be kind of nice and clean, I think. Speaking of clean, grass here is going to go. I don't know what I'm going to place here. Probably kind of like everywhere else on this floor. I'm kind of going with the stone for kind of the basement area. The actual Livingrock is more of the not really professional, but it's the school floor. You know, schools always have nice floors, and then the maintenance areas. Is that a spider? Maintenance areas have kind of just the cement concrete floors here. So I think I'm gonna go with the stone. I'll go ahead and clean that up a little bit here and set up my mana. And we will be right back once I get that set up. So I linked my nodes, and as you can see, I'm getting kind of a fun problem. This dude, item collector, quit taking my stuff. Luckily, I have item filters here I can make. It's just paper and yellow dye. I should have enough yellow dye upstairs. Let's go ahead and find if we do. What I can do is, I hope I can set that as a blacklist to not grab this. We'll find out. Actually, let me do at random. Actually, let's type instead filter. Position filter, entity filter, item filter. So apparently this can go either way, maybe. We'll find out. We need a paper. And we need some yellow dye. Nearest yellow dye I've got. How much of these do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, I only need 4. Don't know why I did that. 4 of these. And Exalted Crafter. I do have the mana assembly halo here, but it's in this chest, so whatever. And paper in the middle. Item filter. Now, if I right-click you, do you give me options? Check metadata, whitelist, blacklist. Cool. You, don't pick up stone or wood. And awesome. That should now be set up, and I can stop the constant flow of wood down here. So run down here, and I'm not sure if the regular item collectors here can actually take the filters, so advanced one works out better here anyway. And there we go, stopped the flow. With that, this will start placing them in. This is not hooked up to mana yet, so it's not going to do anything besides just click at me. And I think we're good. So yeah, like I said, got to get mana working. It's been a long time coming, but finally getting around to it. I'm making a Solagnolia. Specifically, I'm making 6 of these. Yeah, I'm getting tired of having seeds, or having random items just popping into my inventory constantly throughout my base. I'm relying a lot on in-world crafting type things. It's kind of something that you need to not have magnets picking things up. So, yeah. I've been needing to do this. I keep saying I'm going to do it. So, yeah, finally getting around to it. And with our finishing touches, we'll place our sparks on there. Not sure why it's sitting here. Let's pick it up. And 2 sparks over on this side as well. Cool. And last but not least, our dominant spark augments. Place you on that, place you on that. So these are not close enough to pick up anything over there. That's okay. What we can do is let's toss this in here. That's gonna get picked up, isn't it? No, it shouldn't. Oh, yeah, it got picked up. Alrighty. Well, that was unexpected. Let's go ahead and grab that. Maybe I can turn that off with like redstone or something real quick here. That probably got sorted into my Botania chest. Yeah. Well, that's annoying. I think actually what I can do is probably turn off the or we can break the blood magic item node here. That way it no, it'll still get pulled in. Let's break you. Pickaxe. I'm hoping that the filter stayed in there, but I'm not sure. Okay, let's grab mana tablet. Toss you in here. And I'm doing this one first. It's the wood. I don't need as much wood. I'm going to charge that up fully and then dump it into this mana pool when it's full. So I'll be right back once I've filled those. Well, the good news is it's working. It ended up just kind of throwing everything everywhere because that item collector isn't in place yet. But that's okay. It doesn't really matter which of these actually I put the mana in, because either way with these dominant ones, it'll pull from both of those evenly. So these will always be filled, and so it'll kind of even itself out over time anyway. It'll use up a little bit of mana each time it actually breaks them, but I think things turned into things. Let's see, that says Livingrock, so that hasn't actually changed. Let's place you on top to pick up all the random items. Okay, so these are back to being Livingrock. What's clicking? Oh. No, but what is clicking? I did lose my, oh, I wonder if it got pulled into there. Okay, I have to remake my filter. No big deal. We'll be right back. Instead, what I'm going to do with the blacklist, I'm just going to have a whitelist only living rock and living wood. That way it won't pick up my random items like, you know, a mana tablet. And also then I won't need to break it if I need to recharge this before... Why are you here? This whole area should be... not spawned. It should be light enough in here. Go away. Okay, we will have to find that. It's probably on top of things here. That's 0, that's fine. Yeah, so let's go in here, place you in that. Should stop picking everything up. So you should start being placed, and it'll start working. Awesome. Cool. This build is pretty much done. I actually think it is entirely done. This should be automatically feeding in. That's going to throw off my wood counts. That's okay. Throw you inside. You don't need any of this anymore. Bones, button, I don't need. Cool. Yeah, this building, this setup is completely done. Just need to find where that skeleton spawned from. Awesome. So it's been about, I'd say about a day since the last clip. And I had a thought. and some of you may be thinking this as well. One is 2-minute timer, kind of long. It takes about a minute for these to change. I haven't really timed how long it takes to actually place down each of these blocks, because that needs to be taken into account as well. So basically I'm getting 6 blocks every 2 minutes. That's like, what, 180 an hour, somewhere in that, if my math is somewhat right. So what can we do? We could speed up the timer. I could try to find some overgrowth seeds. I think I can use that with pure daisies. Might speed up the time. I haven't actually checked that. Might work. Other than that, what can I do? Well, one of my thoughts was that I don't really use a whole lot of livingwood, and right now I have it set for the same number, which is like 1,000. So first off, let's bump you down to 524, whatever the number is. So great. Still not going to do anything right now. That's okay. This one I'm going to leave at the current number of 1,000. So yeah. Now next what I want to do is I'm going to make it so that these can be placed on either side. Now the reason for that is right now, once this fills up, this entire lane here is just going to sit here doing nothing. And I would kind of like to be able to make it so that once this is all done, I can now start double producing the living rock, because that's going to be used a lot more, as you can tell by my base. So let's go ahead and turn this into what we need: mossy livingwood planks words. And we're just going to swap out. We're just going to swap these out. Let's grab this. Open you up. Right, you need to have mana for that to work, and my mana tablet is empty. Let's toss you in real quick. That didn't work. Let's toss you in over here instead. I'll show you, turn you around. So, don't need a whole lot, just need enough to be able to open up my inner chest. Grab the Rod of Shifting Crust. And let's do, I wonder if I can select this. You. Okay. And really that's all I need to do, I think. So this might be able to reach that far. It can't quite. Or does it? No. Oh, because those are underneath a block. So once that's all changed, I will place a button. Can I place this anywhere? I'll place it right here. Doesn't really matter. Place you. Swap that out. So now wood is going to get placed on both. The rock is going to get placed on both. And that's fine. Yeah, that was easy. Swapped it out. All done. That is going to pulse, which is going to break a bunch of stuff. That's fine. And yeah, so that's pretty much done. The living rock is going to slowly produce. It's still going to kind of average out to roughly even for now. I figure it's got a 50-50 chance if it's going to place it here or here. So it should still be pretty much the same ratio that I'm building it of 6 and 6. But then once this guy fills up, which I won't use a whole lot of, then it'll start producing more living rock. So with that, I think this project is done. So I think with the automated living rock factory here, that we're at a pretty good wrapping up point. I want to do one last thing though before we leave. As you can see here, I have these little doorways. They're kind of maintenance doors, in case I ever need to actually get into these little rooms here. Also, I'll probably put a wall here of some sort, I'm not sure. Might move that over one, then it's not, I don't know. Anyway, I have these doors that can get into access the little areas back there. But right now it's just kind of an empty spot. So I'm going to try, I haven't made one of these for a while. I don't remember exactly how they look. So we're going to start with just one. If I like it, then I'll make more. It's a keystone door from Ars Magica. These things you can actually lock. Let's update you. I kind of like it. It has like the magical barrier that I have here with Elf Glass. I'm not sure how the coloring. I kind of wonder what that would look like with the. Wait, is purple a color or is it just red? Purple's color. I might see what that looks like with having purple on the ground here. Yeah, let me go grab one of those real quick here. Haven't actually made any of these stones on camera before. Oh, one floor too far. So let's go ahead and grab one, what is it, steadfast. And place you, doesn't really matter where it is, it's a shapeless recipe. There we go, steadfast stone. I do want to smelt this first. Let's go run over here and do that real quick. I need to figure out a way I can set up kind of an import chest up there where I can just dump items into it and it'll automatically funnel its way down here. Although if I do that, then this area here isn't going to get sent back to storage. So let that smelt up. Cool. Grab a couple of these. Apparently I have these in inventory. Okay, well that works. I'll just let it go then. I only need a couple. Let's go over here. Let's just see what this looks like. Let's break you and you and you. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I might leave this here for a couple episodes, just kind of seeing how I like it. I do like the doors in general, so let's go ahead and make the rest of those, which apparently don't stack. Place that there. Not sure what block to use really for like the threshold there either. I should have a door here. And do I have an entrance to this area? Where would be a good spot for an entrance? There's blocks behind those ones. I could do it over here, maybe? There's a block, here's a door, which is opposite that door. That works. Punch a hole through here. And place you. And let's go ahead and update everything. Cool. I like the doors. I'm not sure about the floor. We might swap this out. Might do the hallway in a different color. Like this hallway, or the main, it's kind of a big cross section here, or goes this way as well as down this direction. I might swap out all this for the purple. Not sure, but let me know what you think about that. Trying to kind of keep the similar theme with the types of blocks. These are kind of a almost quieter noise in the block. Like these, there's a lot more variant in the color. This is kind of a smoother color, so I might like it just for that. Anyway, I think we're gonna wrap it up. This build's complete. It's gonna go ahead and keep building me parts, which I need to build the rest of my base. So I think at this point I have pretty much everything automated to be able to properly build. So anyway, thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any sort of feedback, positive or negative. I'd love to hear from you guys. So it doesn't have to be like I said, it doesn't have to be positive. Let me know what you don't like. Let me know what you do like. Anyway, thank you for watching. Bye bye.